In this video, we're going to discuss stalking behavior and the most effective way for getting a stalker to leave you alone. And make sure you stick around till the end when we'll talk about when going to the police can help and when it can get you killed. Most stalkers are motivated by a desire for romance, and they've already met or briefly dated the person they're stalking. One of the greatest tragedies of our culture is the way we glorify persistence. We talk about it like it's this amazing quality that the best people have. And sure, it has its good parts, but it also has some really negative effects when directed at other people. Persistence is the excuse for the continuous sexual harassment that comes from refusing to take no for an answer. And persistence is at the root of stalking behavior. It's important to keep in mind, persistence is not a sign of love, nor does it mean you're special. Persistence just shows that the other person can't let go and that they're mentally disturbed. When someone responds to your rejection with persistence, they're saying that they don't accept your decision. This should only make you more confident that you made the right choice. Why would you want to be with someone that refuses to listen to you and respect your decision? All too often, the word no is taken as a starting point in the negotiation rather than being taken at face value, and this is particularly true when it comes to stalkers. For this reason, it's important to be as clear as possible when ending things with a potential stalker. Oftentimes, women try to let men down easy, but that can strongly backfire when it comes to a stalker. It's important to let them know you have no romantic interest in them whatsoever and you're certain you never will. The trouble with language that softens this message, such as, "I'm not sure if you're right for me," or "I'm not in a place to be dating right now," is that the stalker just hears the words "not sure" and "right now." These phrases give the stalker hope, and since the stalker has an unlimited amount of persistence, they're ready to go the distance and wait for as long as you need. So avoid using language that implies that things might change unless you want the person to wait around and potentially stalk you in the meantime. Also, be wary of saying, "let's just be friends." Now don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being friends with someone you once dated as long as that's what you both want. But people often say, "let's just be friends," when they don't actually want a friendship at all. If you just want it to be over, let it be over. And if you want to be only friends, make sure the other person is genuinely okay with that and isn't going to take this as an invitation to stalk you until you change your mind in the future. In the case where you're not remaining friends, after you have clearly ended things, move on and close all forms of communication. This is really important. It is so common for people to give in to harassment. Telling someone to stop calling you or texting you because you don't want to talk to them is talking to them. If you catch yourself saying, "I've told you 100 times to stop contacting me," that means you've talked to them 99 more times than you wanted to. They are winning this battle. I know it can be tempting to give in, but if you answer their call or respond to their letter the 100th time they call, all you're doing is telling them that it takes 100 calls to get you on the phone. Remember, these people are masters at being persistent. Once they know they only have to call you 100 times to get you on the phone, they'll use that as motivation to keep calling. You want to tell them one time that you are done and then avoid all communication with them from that point onward. Any communication will only be interpreted as you being uncertain of your decision, and a little hope is all they need to continue their stalking behavior. Many people end up changing their phone number to get rid of a stalker, but that rarely works because stalkers always manage to find the new number. For this reason, what you want to do instead is get a new number and simply give it out to all the people you care about. Keep the old number until eventually the only person calling it is the stalker. You'll also want to keep all the messages from the stalker in case you need them for evidence. Your voicemail message should be recorded by a machine or a friend of the sex you don't date. You don't want to record your own voicemail message because they may keep calling just to hear your voice. And you don't want someone of the sex that you date to record the message because that's only going to make your stalker more curious to find out if this new person is someone that you're dating, and that's only going to make the stalking worse. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned that sometimes it's a good idea to go to the police, and sometimes it can make the situation more dangerous. When you go to the police, they'll pretty much always give you the same advice: to get a temporary restraining order. Restraining orders are commonly recommended by the police, but there's a lot of debate as to whether or not they actually help. Restraining orders come with two major problems. First, they give clear attention to your stalker. Up to this point, we've been doing everything in our power to ignore our stalker and not give them any attention. The goal has been to snuff out our stalker's fire by not giving it any oxygen. A restraining order just shows our stalker that we've been thinking about them. The second problem with restraining orders is a big one, especially if it's someone that you dated for a long time. Some stalkers take rejection as a very deep and personal attack. It's hard enough for them to accept rejection even in private. The very public nature of a restraining order can cause some stalkers to snap, as the embarrassment of a public rejection is just too much for them to bear. There have been a number of studies on restraining orders, and the conclusion is that they're the most effective on the people that are the least likely to be violent. The more violent your stalker, the more likely a restraining order will make things worse. There have been a number of women murdered with a paper copy of the restraining order on their person. The less emotionally invested your stalker is, the more likely a restraining order will work. They are particularly effective on the clueless people that just think they're being persistent and don't even realize they're doing anything wrong. But for people that are heavily emotionally invested and view their relationship with you as a big part of their identity, the very public rejection of a restraining order can send them over the edge. If you want to learn more about this subject, or how to deal with violent people in general, I recommend the book The Gift of Fear: Survival Signals That Protect Us from Violence by Gavin de Becker. It talks about a wide variety of violent behaviors and how to deal with them, and can be found in the Amazon link in the description below. If you truly believe that you're in danger, a battered woman's shelter is often the safest place to go. The locations are secret, and the people there understand that the legal system often won't adequately protect you. What have you experienced? Have you ever had a problem with a stalker or someone that wouldn't take no for an answer? Have you ever been so relentless in the pursuit of a goal that you took things too far? Tell us about it in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. In the next video, we'll talk about the 6 warning signs that you or someone you love is getting into an abusive relationship. So stick around for that.